Welcome you all to MES e-learning channel. We are going to discuss about emotional intelligence. So what do you mean by emotional intelligence? Somebody who is, they can be academically intelligent, somebody who is getting 98, 99%, you call them as intelligent kid. But there is something also called as emotional intelligence, which is very, very important, and many people forget to apply many of the aspect that is very, very important to to even bother about it, or even think about it, or to work upon their strength and weaknesses. So that is what we are going to discuss. So emotional intelligence is basically you understand, you are able to manage your emotion, you are able to recognize, you are able to analyze yourself. Knowing your friends or knowing your family, how they are with you, how they are behaving with you under certain situation is okay. We understand something happens and they react, we know that. But have you ever thought of how I react to certain things? That is very important. That is why we learn this emotional intelligence. Nowadays, it is very, very, it is very important. Nowadays, wherever you go, you be a student, you be a staff, how to behave with your colleagues, how to behave with your family, these things are very, very important. You just cannot neglect or just cannot say that this is how I am or this is how I behave and people should understand me. It shouldn't be the case all the time. One should be always emotionally aware of themselves. That is what they call it as emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence has some core components over here. The very first component is self-awareness. So one has to be very well aware of their emotion, how they are. Somebody could be emotionally little bit weak, somebody could be very much strong in certain situations. So one has to be aware, how am I? How some may be very, very agitated at some point in time, something happens and they react like anything. So knowing yourself, like how am I going to behave in a particular way? If teacher scolds you, how are you going to react? So all these things, knowing oneself, that I know this is how I am. Looking, if you watch a movie, if I always seeing a scene and then I start crying, then I'll have to be aware that where am I standing, with who am I standing, and what is the situation. Is it apt to stand and cry in front of them, or suppose something happens, something bad happens, and if it is right to go and show your anger, you start giving some bad languages, talking in bad languages, you start fighting, you have physical abuses. So you have to be aware that how you are in particular situation. That is what you call it as self-awareness. You have to be aware that how you are, how am I in particular situation, recognizing that and to work upon that is what is very, very important. That is the first component of emotional intelligence, to be self-aware. The second topic is self-regulation. As I mentioned, if I am very emotional, something happens, somebody scolds me, suppose if you are a student, if a teacher comes upon and scolds you for some reason, you're talking or maybe disturbing the class and the teacher comes and scolds you, so you have to be aware that okay, what I did was wrong, so I shouldn't be reacting, or I shouldn't be continuing the thing that I was doing which could annoy the other person. So that is how, what is the self-regulation meant by, you have to know. It's not that something happened, if you see a fight that is happening, you are nowhere in that fight, you just go for some fun, you go fight, you do give some bad languages, you talk in having that conversation and all. You have to be very, very much aware, or you have to regulate, knowing that okay, this is how I have to be. I have to be little calm. I have to push those emotions down for a bit, so that I am not overreacting in some places. Some places it is like depending upon the situation. When you are in a crowd, when you are in a public place, you definitely have to have that kind of a thought, like how you are going to regulate your emotions. Suppose you had an interview and that interview you could not pass. So it's not appropriate to sit there and literally cry that I did not get that job. You have to be like, okay, I'll try for the next time and maybe next time I'm getting a better job. So that is how you have to be regulated under certain circumstances. You have to have that management. You have to, that would be a difficult challenge for you, but still working upon that is how you gain that emotional intelligence. The third component is motivation. Like suppose if a student is failing, you cannot simply sit and say that my life is gone, everything is gone, nothing is going to happen. You cannot do that, because life you have to move on. So if at all you are failing in one paper, you have to think like, it's okay, now this happened, nothing can be changed. You have to study for the next, so that you are preparing well and you are clearing that particular paper. You just cannot be, in self-doubt that I am not worth it, I cannot do it, I'm not a first ranker, so I won't be get this job, I won't be placed there, or I won't be, getting all those things. You shouldn't be doing that. The more you are able to, self-motivate, the more you will be able to achieve your goals. Those are very, very important. Your decision making, your actions, everything is very, very important. And the fourth point is empathy. Empathy is one of the major component that people nowadays, literally you can see that people are not empathetic. Whenever we are traveling, whenever we are going, in a traffic, people are very much in a rush to, to move ahead. They don't even see somebody is falling there, or something is happening to someone. They're least bothered to even look at it. Or maybe they are simply coming and, videographing the things, okay, this happened, rather than giving a help to that person. Something happened, somebody fall from bike, people start laughing, people start taking videos. So this is not right. You have to be empathetic. That person might be going through some pain, or maybe some serious things are happening. So you should be able to have that kind of a feeling, or at least understand that person's feeling, what those people are going on. Some, I've seen students, bullying other students, teasing with some name, maybe they are fat shaming, or maybe the color, all these comments. You may feel that is funny, that is not actually funny. You have to be empathetic. Maybe that person laugh it out, but maybe inside that person might be really hurt of that words that we are using. We have to be always empathetic. We have to be seeing from other perspective. Whenever there is a conflict that is happening, we always tend to see from our perspective, like ye aise hua, waisa hua, this is how I look at it. But always have a thought the other way also, what that person must have been going through, why that person have reacted in a certain way. Okay, I've seen some children saying, you enter the class, you say hi to a friend, that person did not say hi, so you just angry, you become angry thinking, oh, वो friend ने मुझे hi नहीं बोला तो मैं उससे बात नहीं करूँगी. ऐसा नहीं है. Maybe that friend is going through some difficult situation that person is not sharing. Maybe that person is having a bad day. So you have to be empathetic towards this. That is very, very important. Another thing is social skills. It is very, very important that you should be able to communicate. Simply somebody is saying something, just be quiet. It's not the thing. You have to have that kind of a conversation. If teacher is teaching you in the class, you should be able to ask questions. If you don't understand, you ask your teacher what is how it is going, what is the topic, I am not understanding, can you please explain it again. Same with your friends also. If somebody is not feeling well, if you see that somebody is isolated from few days, you can simply go and ask, is everything okay. That will help to build up a relationship, because at the end of the day, you cannot simply stay alone somewhere. You cannot simply build a your group within yourself. Okay, you yourself is a group, you cannot be doing that. You will definitely would want your teachers, your friends, your family all together. So that is very, very important. Effective communication, it will help you to build up the relationship, it will help up to overcome certain situation. If you are jam packed with your activities, like teachers are giving you different type of assignments, multiple teachers are giving you assignments at a time and you are running out of time, or maybe you are not understanding what to do, come and talk to the teachers, or you take help from your friends, how are you doing, how are you planning. So that social skill is again a core component of the emotional intelligence. All these components are very, very important to be more and more intelligent. It is not just that academically you are scoring 99% or 98%, you are intelligent, you cannot say that. All these core components are equally important as a human being to be imbibed in your life, to have a healthy life. Otherwise what will happen, always you will be having some or the other problem. You will be either crying, you will be either, you know, underconfident, or you might be overconfident. Those things are very, very important in life. So what is the importance? Why are we learning this? Many students ask me, ma'am, why are we learning emotional intelligence? What is the importance of this? Of course it is important, because it is school, you are being treated as a school kid. Now you have come to college, you will be passing out from the college. Definitely you should be having a personality to cope up in a particular situation. You go for a job, you cannot be simply sitting around chilling like you used to do in the college. You cannot be doing it in your workplace. So you should be knowing what are the etiquettes that you have to follow in a particular way. The more and more you are growing up, the more mannered you have to be, the more self-aware you have to be. So that is what it is. It is for personal well-being, your mental health. As I mentioned, if you are taking up everything on you, you will always be under stress. Okay, this aa gaya, wo aa gaya, ye aa gaya, mujhe ye karna hai, wo karna hai. Then you will be under stress. If you are planning out your things, that will be helping you out. The another thing is relationship. You can maintain your relationship as if suppose if you are in a class, if you have been assigned to do a group work, you should definitely be having a good relationship with your teammates. Not necessary all the time that you will be getting a best friends in your team. There might be some people who you may not like that much, but you have to work with them at the end of the day. You cannot simply deny that, oh, that person is not my friend, so I cannot work with that person, or I cannot be with that person, I cannot talk with that person. You cannot say that. You have to complete that task in that particular group only. So for that, it is very, very important to be focus on that thing and to overcome your challenges in that perspective. You will, with this you will be having workplace success for sure. It's suppose something bad happened, you cannot simply stop talking to everyone. I've seen many people, something happens and they stop talking, so that will create a very bad environment. And whenever you are spending a lot of time, like 6, 7, 8, 10 hours you are spending in one place, you cannot be simply be very rigid on these things. So that is very, very important, and these being emotionally intelligent would definitely help you to make particular decisions. So when you are taking a decision, when you are at a particular position, you cannot be biased. You cannot be saying that, okay, this person is like that, that person is like that. You cannot say, judge them on that perspective. You have to be, what do you say, inculcate in those, if suppose if you are a team lead, and there is some fight happening inside your team, you cannot simply sit and say, I am your boss, so whatever I say you have to do. You cannot say that. You have to be a good leader. You have to take all those people together, sort out the things and make them work very efficiently. That is very, very important. You cannot simply go and bombard the things, ki do this, do that, I don't mind, you do you whatever problems that you're going through, but you have to do it. It's not like that. You have to make a proper decision. At the same time, decision making has one more perspective, like if suppose if one of our friend is not feeling well, or maybe that person is going through some turmoil, emotionally turmoil situation, so simply going bolna bolna kya hua bolna just to know the gossip, it's not right. Okay, you should give that person some space to come out of that situation. You can sit there, at least don't give advice, you sit with that person, maybe that person may feel good for that. So the decision making is again important. And adaptability, yes, of course, as I mentioned, ki if I do not like somebody if I do not like a colleague of mine, that person, I do not have a good rapport with that person, but at the end of the day I have to work with that person no matter what. So I have to be adaptive to that person, so that everything moves on very smoothly, and at the same time I am not having any consciously not creating any issue out of it. That is very, very important when you are going, or when you are stepping ahead in your life. Being emotional intelligent is very, very important. That will help you in your mental health, it will help you to be in a peaceful environment. When the more you are in a peaceful environment, the more you will be able to take good decision, and more conveniently you will be able to work on that particular thing. So that is all about emotional intelligence. Thank you all.